Hello, peace, love, and light to you all. Welcome to Deep Astrology. I'm here with another moon vibe, another moon cycle reading. So this is going to be for the moon in Sagittarius. Moon in Sagittarius. Moon is currently 6 degrees. 6 degrees Sag. 6 degrees. So mutable fire, possibility, belief, expansion, renewal. Subjective realities. Sagittarius, philosophy, religion, morality, possibility. Sagittarius is ruled by the preacher, Jupiter, the benevolent king, the blessings, the expansion, the opportunity, the experiences, the hidden wisdom. And yeah, the moon is going to it's making a trine to Chiron and Aries. It's also going to be making trines to Mars, the Sun, and Venus in Leo. And a square to Neptune. There's this ability, this very potent ability to choose faith over riches. As that Kendrick Lamar song goes, I'll choose faith over riches, I'll choose money over bitches, or something like that. It's just a point where we can choose. There's a turning point. There's definitely a change of the tide, a change of the flow, getting into a different flow, getting more optimistic, getting more positive, choosing faith. I believe that the Scorpio moon transit was a little stressful for many. I felt that very strongly, that it was a stressful transit. With this moon in Sagittarius, we can be more lighthearted, more free, more freedom of expression, more openness, more of a transitory point where we can kind of let go of the baggage, let go of anything heavy, and step into a realm of fun, step into a realm of positivity and optimism. So, Two of Pentacles. Like I said, transition. Awakenings. Contemplation. Okay. So for the moon in Sagittarius, today's August 9th. The moon will be there until the 11th. Early the 11th, where it'll move into Capricorn. And this is a really, really good point to make decisions based on wisdom. Whether this is dealing in finances, whether this is dealing in relationships. We want to remain steadfast and firm. And I believe, and I'm going to go ahead and say that this moon in Sagittarius is a recharge. There's open space for reevaluation of things, redefining. This is an opportunity to start to redefine and reshape your own mind, your own sense of self, your own sense of worth, based on a higher perspective, stepping into a space of more, higher self, higher belief, You know, this is Jupiterian energy. Jupiter is home in Sagittarius. And in 2 days, 3 days, it's going to be making it's going to be going direct, because you know that Jupiter right now is retrograde in Sagittarius. So this has been about kind of opening up our minds, going back into the recesses of our mind and our perspective so that we can see what's available to us, what tools, what perspectives can be formed that hadn't been formed before. Just going over what it is we thought we knew, going over and kind of mowing the lawn of our own psychic awareness, our own psychic beliefs, our own belief patterns, our own just higher sense of self, the self that we're leading, the self of the new life that we're leading, you know. Sagittarius is synonymous with the new life and the expansion and the faith and belief that is birthed and agreed upon, you know. It also deals in culture, you know, like I said, philosophy, religion, expansion, you know, going outside of your comfort zone, you know. So this is going to give us a chance to see ourselves in a higher light, to see ourselves in a different way, in order to be able to make better decisions, you know, to make decisions that are more aligned with our highest truth, more spiritually based, more faith-based, and it lines up with our spiritual integrity. So off the bat with Ace of Swords, you know, it being upright, there's an uprightness, there's a pep in our step, there's a awakening and overcoming, and I'm hearing even an awakening of lost values, redefining and reshaping your value and doing it in truth, burning away what does not work, you know, and there's just this feeling of shaping and hardening and chiseling a sculpture, almost a model, you know. You know, for some of us, we may be reviewing certain business plans, we may be reviewing certain curriculum-based things. For some of us who are writers, we're reviewing a certain philosophy that we're writing out. It feels like that as well. There's just a reshaping, there's a widening of the scope of what we didn't see, almost like taking some pliers and, you know, this feeling of looking into the anatomy of something, you know, seeing what's deeply possible, deeply hidden, even cause and effect, you know, seeing the cause and effect of something, gaining more wisdom, more spiritual wisdom, okay? Two of Pentacles, I feel that strongly here with the Two of Pentacles. It's transitory, it's there's a different focus, it's more adaptable, it's about becoming more flexible and just looking at things in a way that you never looked at them before, or almost even coming to I'm hearing coming to a head. This could be to do with partners, with, you know, two separate parties, with two separate entities. We're finding new ways, new methods, new victory when it comes to I'm hearing like distribution, processing things. There's something about a process. There's something about a life process, a life structure. For many of you, it's just about receiving clarity over over your growth. You know, this is about growth, okay? This is all about growth, spiritual growth, maturation. This moon in Sagittarius is going to help us to come to such a point of maturation, because it's going to take us out of our usual affinities. It's funny because I'm saying the word affinity, and we just had what I call the Lionsgate infinity portal, okay? Because number 8 is infinity. And it's funny because the sword here has the infinity symbol, the infinity. So affinity and infinity, two different words. But for some reason I felt the need to say that. And even here with the Two of Pentacles is the infinity sign. Okay? So there's this regeneration process, there's this remapping, there's this new blueprint that we're opening up to. There's a widening of the set, there's a widening of the scope. It's almost like you know, being able to get behind the scenes in something, being able to get your hands in the clay of something, becoming more of a creator. You know, I'm hearing the word talisman for some reason. I'm hearing becoming the talisman, becoming the vessel. Um, you know, for many of you, you could feel like you're becoming vessels of truth, becoming more um, um your downloads. You know, we can be receiving downloads from spirit. You know, I can't tell you guys how many times a day I see synchronicities just walking the streets because I don't have a car, but I see numbers 333, 777s, all triple digit synchronicities on cars all the time. And for some reason, I'm looking at the Two of Pentacles. I refer to this as Virgo um, energy, as mercurial. You know, Mercury rules Virgo, and you know Mercury has a lot to do. It corresponds with our technology, and it corresponds with what works, our cars, inventions, stuff like that, sales. You know, so there's this adaptability. There's like this new motor engine. There's this new oiling up of, you know, the engine getting more fuel. And I believe that we're being fueled by faith. You know, that our discoveries and our hunches and where we're directing our energy, where our mind is now leading us, is directing our faith. And when I look at the Seven of Pentacles, you know, for some of you, you could feel like you guys have planted seeds, like you've planted seeds, but you haven't reaped the reward, or you haven't seen the benefit of certain things that you've done, certain relationships, certain things. Like you're wanting to fact check certain things so that you can find the value in what it is uh, you've by faith planted seeds in. Does that make sense? So you are reaping a harvest. I do correspond the Two of Pentacles with harvest coming in. It's almost like you're needing to weed out, you know, burn up the weeds so that you can reap your harvest. A harvest is coming, but you need to be ready for it. You need to be open to it. There's an opening up. You need to open up to change and possibilities. So wow, it's funny. We just had the 8-8 portal yesterday, and I got basically the two infinity signs, but when you look at them, it's 8. You know, that's crazy. So 88, abundance, materialism, rematerializing. You know, 8-8 represents power, it represents manifestation, time, material, Saturn energy. So there's definitely this unity with source consciousness and gaining a higher perspective with your sense of source, operating in faith. But what that does is it helps you to show where you can more logically direct your energy, where you can use more wisdom. Faith, I feel the need to say faith-based wisdom, logical-based wisdom, though. It's something to do with faith and logic, you know, faith and logic. Sagittarius kind of is that bridge. I look at Sagittarius as that bridge between faith and logic. You know, it's the philosopher. It's about what could be possible. Philosophers have to use logic, you know. So, you know, like we have to use logic in order to lead us to. It's like we have to use logic and faith together to lead us to back to logic again. You know, it's almost like coming back to yourself in a full circle way. And I see that with these 8s, with these infinity signs. You know, we're going to come to a higher perspective that's going to allow us to really shape and see the value in an experience, see the value in an opportunity. You know, there is more. There's more for us. There's more evolution. With the Ace of Swords, this is being completely tapped in to untapped potential. Like you're tapping into potential that hasn't been tapped in, breaking new ground with this moon in Sagittarius. We're breaking new ground. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one more card. I just saw the Magician in there. Just saw the Magician in there. Okay. And we have an 8 card coming out. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. An 8 card. Last card. 8. 8, 8, 8. So, I mean, these cards are not 8 cards, but they have the number 8 in them. Infinity. Like, that 8 is coming in strong. So, what I'm going to say about this is it definitely has something to do with perspective. Coming into a state of more power, you know, coming into a state of more power. 8 of Swords generally signifies or denotes powerlessness, victimhood, you know, feeling repressed, trapped, powerless, within your mind, you know. But how I take it is that, you know, you've built a perspective around a situation or a circumstance that is not serving you. You've built a type of mental blockages. This signifies mental blockages. So Moon in Sagittarius is going to help us nurture our goals, nurture what we believe is possible, getting out of our own way. There's a need to get out of our own way and tap into source consciousness much more assuredly. So yeah, this is about getting out of your mind and opening up, becoming more flexible, finding the power, finding your true power, finding the power in, almost finding the power within your powerlessness of giving up, of surrendering. I'm almost sensing a sense of surrender. You know, there's a sense of surrender, and it needs to become more flexible and more open to different truths and ideas. So for many of you, it could mean just needing simply to read a book about a different culture, you know, to get out of your own mind, get out of your own way. Or for some of you, it's needing to go take a jog, you know, needing to go take a walk, you know, just simple things that we forget to do that helps us to get out of our own dynamics. So it's a change of destiny, it's a change of dynamic, it's a change in fate, but only we have to open up to it. We have to be receptive. This is a lot of this is receptive energy, the earth energy coming in. This is about receiving, and a lot of it is about listening, you know, listening in, tuning in, meditation, you know, writing down, channeled writings, you know, receive from spirit right now. We don't want to think we know everything about everything, you know, or everything about one thing, you know, because that could be blocking us from meeting our highest potential. You know, when Sagittarius comes around, whenever we have a moon in Sagittarius, it's all about potency, vitality, and really going to that next level of understanding that supercharges us to our fate, getting us home. So moon in Sagittarius, moon in Sagittarius, moon in Sag, moon in Sag. Yeah, this is the moon and Sag video, you guys, and you know, remain 10 toes down, remain strong, steadfast, immovable in your faith and in your belief, but also at the same time be open and flexible, you know. So this could happen in a number of ways, you know, where you may be strong in your mind, maybe you're not strong in your body, or where you're strong in your body, you may not be strong in your mind. At the same time, where you're flexible in your body, you may not be flexible in your mind, and vice versa. So this is really about mowing over the rough patches of belief and perspective in order to really see the whole open field that's before us. So yeah, beautiful channeled message, beautiful, beautiful. I love you all. Peace, love, light, spirituality to you guys. 10 toes down, like Nipsey Hussle said, 10 toes down. All my life, I've been grinding on my life. All right, peace, shalom, love y'all.